Hey, welcome back for another one. It is about 6:45 right now, and we are at the trailhead for Mount Sherman. Now, this one's been on my list for a while now, and it's widely considered the easiest 14er. However, there is a saying that goes that there is no easy 14er, and I would agree with that. But if you are just starting out and are looking for kind of a way to break yourself into it, I definitely recommend starting with this one because it isn't as bad in terms of elevation gain and length, depending on where you start, as all of the other 14ers. Now, I'm right here at the gate. It is roughly about 12,000 feet. If you have a good clearance vehicle, you should be able to make it up here no problem. I have a front wheel drive Hyundai Santa Fe that I made it up here no problem whatsoever. It's mainly ground clearance that you need. It does get pretty rough here on the last mile or so, but I'm meeting up with a couple of people from the group, so that's going to be pretty exciting to have a couple more people here. Also, there's a lot of really cool, rich mining history on these mountains here, and I'll be showing you some of the really cool abandoned mines and stuff like that, and it's going to be really cool. If you're somebody who enjoys history, I think you'll really enjoy this, and I think that's really going to add to the appeal of climbing this mountain. So we're going to go ahead and get started here shortly. I'm just waiting for the other guys to get here. The sun's starting to come up over that way. It is about 6:50 right now. Our goal is to be on the trail by 7, so I'm the first one here. As soon as the other guys get here, we'll meet up and we'll start heading up the road here, and hopefully it's light when we get to the first mine building here, so I can show you that and kind of show you what it's all about up here. So I will get back to you here in just a bit, and I think we should be having really good weather for the majority of the hike here. After last week on La Plata, we had 70-mile-an-hour winds. This time, they're only calling for about 10 to 15, so it'll be quite a nice change from last week, and I'm looking forward to a pretty nice hike here. They're calling for down in the valley here right around 55 for a high today. Of course, it's going to be colder up on the mountain, but don't think I'm going to need too many layers, but I did bring them just in case. Also brought my micro spikes for traction, and we'll see if we'll need them, but we'll go ahead and bring you guys back here in just a bit. We'll talk to you soon. Hey, what's up, guys? So we parked right down there by that gate. I'll turn my camera around here for you in just a second. It's right about 12,000 feet. It is open. You can actually drive up to here where I'm at now. We're at about 12,300 feet. And the first landmark that you're gonna see is this area here called the Dauntless Mine area. What's really cool is these mountains here were used for gold, silver, and zinc mining silver from around the mid 1800s to the late 1800s, and zinc upwards to about like the 1940-ish area. And it's just super cool kind of seeing this. It's like walking back in time to, you know, the good old gold rush and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, this this mine here is really well preserved. It's very cool, and it's still in rather good shape. Let me take you guys up here and show you what we got. I apologize if the image here looks orange. I do have the sun right behind me, and it's shining pretty brightly right now, so if the image looks orange, that's why. But as soon as I get up here, I'll be able to show you this. So right there's the top, and got some remnants of the old mine shaft, and right in there's the old mine. It's closed up, and you don't want to go in there anyway. It's not safe. But this whole hike's gonna be filled with super cool stuff like this. So if you're a history buff, definitely come check this out. It's got a lot of cool history, and it's definitely worth something exploring. And we're gonna go ahead and keep on moving. All right, so we just got to the first major incline here, and so far it's been nothing but a pile of scree the entire time. It reminds me exactly what I was dealing with on DeCalibron. Keep in mind, this is a great time to add that if you're going hiking with anybody else, be very mindful of the loose rocks, because if you're not cautious, or if the other person's following too close, you could send some debris down on them and injure them. So it might be smart to give yourself some distance between each other as you're coming up, so that way nobody gets hurt. I'm gonna turn this around here for you. As you can see, this is pretty much what we're dealing with. Just straight scree the entire time. And this is what we came up down here. We started from down over there, that hump. I don't think you guys can see it because the sun's in the way, but nonetheless, that's where we're headed over there. And I think we're also planning on hitting Sheridan and Gemini. So that way, you know, we don't do this all in like 4 hours and drive all this way for a short day. So far, there hasn't been much snow, just little patches here and there. Don't think you'll need traction, at least now anyway. Here's another mining building, which is really cool. It's just really cool to step back into history here. Come to think of this, you know, 150 years ago was booming mining country, and now we are climbing around it. So it's pretty cool. All right, so we just got up to the top here of this little section. I'll turn the camera around for you in just a second. We're about ready to go up this little spot here and then up to the summit ridge, which is when everything's gonna get really narrow and has some decent exposure. I'm actually right behind this little rock wall right here to block the wind. Once I get out towards this area, there's nothing really blocking it, so you guys won't be able to hear me too well. I don't want to screw up the audio for you. But to turn this around here, this is what we're going up. And then after we get up above this little notch right here, it's gonna be to the summit ridge, and then after that it's gonna be a push up to the summit. There's a lot of other really cool mountains around here, tons of 13ers. Then I believe we're gonna try to knock out at least 2 of them. There's been a couple areas of snow like about this on the trail. Pretty easy to avoid though. You don't really need traction, at least at this point. But this is the views that we have so far. And after we get up there, I know for a fact we're going to be going for Gemini, which is one of the 13ers. It's right behind Sherman. You can't see it from where we are here, but that one is going to be next on the list after we get to the top of Sherman. So bring you guys back as soon as we get up there. All right, so we just got up over that summit ridge there. That was pretty fun. Part of that was pretty narrow with some pretty solid exposure, so that was pretty fun. It was slicking a little bit of spots. Again, I haven't had to use traction at all, so I definitely recommend bringing them along, but you probably won't have to use them if you come within the next week. So right now, it's pretty much flat the whole way over to the summit. I'll turn this around for you. So you can't see it in the video, but there's a little pole sticking up out of the ground there. Right there is where the summit is. And that's when we'll hit the official summit. You got a little bits of snow up here, nothing major. Again, it's pretty much all avoidable. Or spots like this here, you can just walk through it, it's no big deal. It's been pretty much like this the entire way up, going through scree. Over there is actually where I was last week. You got all of the really nice ranges over there, like La Plata, Elbert, Massive. Again, I was on La Plata last week, so this is Sherman's pretty well isolated. Thinking about hitting this 13er here on the way back. It looks pretty fun. There's a nice little ridge there. I don't know if that's class 3 or not, but either way, we're pretty much at the top now, and we're looking to keep the adventure going for a little while. We're definitely going to do Gemini, which you'll be able to see from the summit of Sherman over here. And it's got 2 little humps. It's pretty cool looking, and it's debatable which one of those is taller, but Sherman here is, if I remember correctly, 14,036 feet, and I'll bring you back as soon as we hit the summit. Okay, so we've officially made it to the summit, and you got some really cool views of all the surrounding mountain ranges and everything. We've got great pictures of the Sawatch Range, where I was just at last week, and you can see Elbert and Massive and La Plata, and I'll turn the camera on for you guys in a bit so you can see that. We've got lots of surrounding 13ers, and we're gonna do this one right behind me. I don't know if you can see that from where the camera's at. And then over there is Gemini, those 2 humps. That's where we're gonna head next. And got some hiking partners. We got Tim. This is his first 14er. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
And Anthony, which is what, number 11 or 12?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
All right. And what's your name, man?
Anthony.
Anthony. Chad. Hey. Nice to meet you. And we just met. So, and kind of all hanging out up here. It's pretty crazy how big this is. This is just the size of like a football field up here. It's just completely flat. And that's pretty unique. I haven't seen anything like that on all the other 14ers. So, this one's pretty isolated from a lot of other mountain ranges. If you can see from the picture here, you can see how far away all of the other ranges are. And over there, I don't know if you guys can see that lake. Have a good one.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. Have a safe trip down.
Thank you too.
And that's actually the Twin Lakes that I was at, and I got some pictures at last weekend, and that was such a cool spot. Crystal blue water. If you're out in the Aspen area, definitely check it out. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we're gonna relax, hydrate, get some food in us, and we're gonna head on over to Gemini. But thanks for joining along for another 14er adventure, and we'll see you next week.